This is Konstantin. Welcome to stream from Russia, city of Rostov. For joining, I have quite an interesting information. Well, I guess I can see and hear myself. Mods, would you please give me 5x5? Lorna is saying that I'm good to go. Thank you. Did you all hear that there was an attack on oil refinery in the south of Russia? I actually know the place quite well. It's a large oil refinery. Couple drones, at least one drone, attacked it like a kamikaze drone and blew it up, not too far from my house. Yep. My message today is going to be I'm going to talk about two realities. One reality that of you have, and one reality is that we have. I'm talking about the perception of sanctions and how seen from your side, from your parts. And you will be very surprised to learn that the reality is seen a little different. At least there's a new reality here from the inside of Russia that's shaping up. It's a very new, very fresh, very young reality, but it's a reality nonetheless. Okay, now let's take a couple steps back. On February 24th, Russia did some actions. And these actions, actually, like anything in the world, have brought. Now, we can talk about what kind of. Are they weak enough, things like that, but they are reactions, okay? Make no mistake about it. What we had in Russia in the first couple weeks after this event on the 24th started, no one was ready. No one had expected anything like this. Everyone was shocked. Everyone was upset. I don't know, disgusted. Just at least so many people were. And we didn't know what to do. And the government officials were absolutely clueless. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do either. They were just keeping silence for the most part. I remember were announced the following day after this event, on the 25th of February. And then a slew of actions was announced by the Western governments and by the Western companies and businesses. And no one had expected anything like that here. At least, like when I personally heard that Russia started attacking Ukraine, I kind of understood what's going to follow. I'm not a prodigy, okay? I'm not a genius. It's simply I knew what people had been saying in the West for the past 5 months. I was following closely. There was a hysteria about Russia amassing large amount of troops on the border, and I thought it was absolutely groundless. Okay, I thought that the Western media was overplaying that. I thought that nothing would happen. Russia would never attack its brothers and sisters, Ukrainians. Well, in the past at least they were. And it would be like shooting itself in both feet. Okay, why would Russia do something like that? It felt so stupid at the time, before the event started, of course. I knew that people in the West, the governments in the West, the power groups in the West, they were ready to implement the sanctions. And on the day that Russian rockets started flying towards in Ukraine, and hitting Ukrainian targets, I immediately knew that that's disaster, disaster. And at that time, on the 24th, I understood that it was coming to us. Now, I was one of the very few, and I started talking about it right away. You remember my first streams, my first videos. I talked exactly about that, okay? But before the event, we had one reality. Russia was part of this world, so to speak. I don't even know how to name it. This kind of our own united reality. Russia was sometimes behaving not so well, sometimes okay, but it was a member. It was well understood, accepted, and it was let in to play by the rules, common rules, right? And Russian government didn't mind. Russian officials didn't mind. Russian government employees didn't mind. Russian politicians, they all had some assets, some money, some interest vested in the West. They had properties, real estate, bank accounts, yachts. Russian oligarchs were having a blast in the West, things like that. So things were all in all fantastic. One reality, one world, one people. Now, 24th, the event happens. Then the Western world starts slamming Russia with actions. Something like, you cannot do this. If you do this, you get this on top of this, and then this and this and this on top of this. And then on top of that, you're gonna get these things. And on top of these things, you're gonna get this, this, and this. Now, Russia quickly became number one country, sanctioned country in the world. Number one. Forget about Iran, forget about Cuba, forget about North Korea, Venezuela. Combined, they don't stand up to Russia. Okay, Russia is the outcast, the pariah. I don't know. It's pretty bad. That's your reality, my friends. That's your media sees things and tells you. This is how you perceive it. It's your perception. Now, you'll be very, very. That is happening here inside Russia. Remember, world, one people, one reality, one rules for all of us. That's before the 24th. Before the 24th, we were friends, we were partners. We were using American and European airplanes, Boeings, Airbuses, and we accepted their excellent quality, saying, that's great stuff, yeah, let's do it. Hey, we were drinking Coca-Cola, we were going out to have McDonald's for a quick bite, we were wonderful products, cheap furniture, not the best, but cheap and decent quality and very accessible and very clean and very nice. IKEA was great, okay? What else? Tikurila, Valio, Gerber, you name it. Russian companies. Oh, of course, the Western companies, but they come to Russia, they sell things in Russia. Our friends. That's how we in Russia perceived you. This was our impression of you, the West. The event happened, things started changing a little bit. First, just tiny bit changes, and then more and more bigger and bigger changes. And now, my friends, this is a new reality. You know what we're living right now? okay? On that side that is gray, and you are on, on the other side. That's how I'm seeing our country is going towards to. It all started with bashing Western companies, saying they can't do that. They won't ever do that. Oh, they worry about dollars. That's all. They worry about profits. They're gonna lose so much money, and then all of a sudden, bang, 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 a few companies leave, and then they say something like, "Oh, you know what? They're gonna come back soon." Well, this gonna be over soon, and they're gonna come back. They just well, if they weren't make announce, if they weren't that their governments would pressure them into own sanctions, domestic sanctions, and then most Western companies started leaving without sanctions being applied to them on their domestic level, and everyone was like, "Well, that's a mistake. They're clearly making a mistake." And then some time left, and these companies decided that they're gonna be gone forever, for good. They're pulling out completely out of Russia. They forfeiting everything that they had been building for 20, 30 years here. IKEA, I mean, how many people, how many teams, how many warehouses, how many stores, how many logistics networks here? They're forfeiting everything. They're trying to sell, but I'm sure that they will sell pennies on dollar. Coca-Cola is saying that kaput, it's out of Russia. It doesn't care about the plants and everything. Airbus was, I think, either Boeing or Airbus. I think it was Boeing was buying Russian rare metal, titanium. No more. McDonald's gone forever, sold assets. Every single Western company has left or is thinking of leaving. And then the new Russian paradigm started happening. First, very few voices. They started saying, you know what? That's not them making decisions. It's us. We're kicking them out. It's not. It's us. We are self-isolating ourselves because we don't need them, because they're rotten, because they are not friends but enemies. They've been pressing us, pushing us, using us, abusing us for the past 30 years, and we're finally are awake, and we're finally shaking off our chains and kicking them out. It's not them leaving, it's us. We don't want them. Coca-Cola, oh, give me a break. We don't need this. Is poison. We don't need this poison. Somehow they had been drinking it for the past 30 years, not thinking, not saying, not projecting that it was poison. It wasn't poison on the 23rd of February. It was a great taxpayer. It was a decent soft drink, everyone was enjoying it. But then few short months later, it became an enemy. It became poison, okay? IKEA, cheap crap. Furniture doesn't stand. It's gonna be replaced by the Russian. Before, IKEA was fine. It was good business, huge taxes, tons of people employed, and the furniture was great. Everyone was loving it. But now it all of a sudden became cheap crap. Oh, this is the new reality shaping up in Russia. It's not the sanctions and the pressure from the outside. Self-isolating, preserving our values, Slavic Russian values. The great Russia is up again. It's us that we don't want to trade with the West in dollars. It's not them not buying our oil and gas. It's us not willing to sell them. It's us punishing them. We'll see how they go through the winter in their cold houses. It's us. We are in charge. We're the driver. We're strong and getting stronger. It's us. It's not them. This is the reality. This is the reality. It's shaping up. Again, like I said, it's very young. It's very fresh. It hasn't been formed as a national idea. But I am really scared because it's shaping up. It's shaping up and it's taking up minds of many, many people. And that is very scary. I think I understand. This is my opinion. This is wrong. We are one. We are united, just like we were before the 24th of February, okay? No one attacked us. No one wanted to destroy us. No one wanted to put us down, humiliate us, I know because I've been on the other side. I saw how things. No one cares about Russia in the United States. If Russia behaves, if Russia is a good trading partner, no one cares. People could care less how to, destroy us. And I don't know where this reality can. There's a risk of our country making another very, very wrong turn. And I hope that we Russian people, we haven't lost common sense yet, and we will understand and what is wrong. I really hope that's the case. I really hope that nothing that cannot be reversed or cannot be undone change. Nothing like that happens. My friends, this has been my message/information. I think that you find this very interesting because this stuff is exclusive. I have not heard of this talked by anyone about. This is what just occurred me this morning. This is the very fresh and new picture of the reality that appeared in my mind. I was discussing the situation with my wife this morning, and she kind of suggested, she said that, look, this is what's happening. And she's absolutely right. And, I picked up on this topic and I developed. And beware. Beware. This new idea, it's not well. It's idea that it's us, it's Russia that is self-isolating to, I don't know why, preserve something that's not you that putting pressure on Russia. Ugly idea, really. Anyway, I want to ask you a question and I want you to comment. Let me know, have you experienced anything like what I've just told you about this different reality? Have you experienced that I don't know where you come from, our geography of the viewers is pretty much the globe. In your part of the woods, have you seen anything like this now or perhaps in the past? I would really, really like to know. Thank you so much. I would like to turn on comments and first of all, thank you, wonderful moderators, for coming back again and watching my back. Harry, I read your message before the stream. I just didn't have time to respond. Please, these are a few rules that I'd like you to follow. Common sense is the king. Anything you write, please use common sense. No snide, crude remarks and or hostile comments. No crude user. No trolls. If you want to troll, don't even come here because you're gonna be taken care of. Subscribers only. There are some topics that are blacklisted. They are everything that is happening, everything Ukraine. They are number of casualties in Ukraine and in the Russian army on both sides. Everything referring to actions of Russian army in Ukraine, and criticism of Russian leadership. Everything else is okay. So let's do it. Let me turn on the chat. If you don't see chat appearing, just reload your web browser and you will see the chat appeared. I'm seeing the first comments. Reese Gray was number 1 today. Thank you, Reese. Fantastic to see you. Friday's coming up, and there will be a private live stream for sponsors of this channel only and patrons. There are 2 live streams on Friday afternoon, both of them, one after another. Reese Gray, Dirk, Mommy, Martin, Lorna, Vasya Zangiv is here. Hello, hello. Yodi Racer, Bombi, IKDA, Rain Carnell, Peaks and Pokes, Pure Tone, J.E., Kyle, James, Harry Potman, Robert Bates, Gaby, usual suspects and mods. Thank you very much for joining. Pleasure to see you. As usual, hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. I was worried, and I am glad to see you're okay. I hope you have an exit strategy if it gets too hot there. Stay safe, my friend. This is explore a little bit further, Reese. This is a question. Well, first of all, I'm okay. Rostov is okay. What happened was, I would say, 35, 40 miles from Rostov, a large oil refinery. As far as I know, there are no casualties, no people hurt. There's just a huge fire at the refinery, and that's exit strategy. If it gets hot, I am sitting on the border of Ukraine and Russia. Okay, if I take a pebble and I throw it real hard, then the pebble will probably land in Ukraine. If it gets too hot, I don't really have an exit strategy. What kind of exit strategy? Have a private plane at my right hand to Turkey, or what kind of case? The best strategy is to either foresee well ahead and leave, which I am not planning on doing anytime soon, or when it starts happening, be as prepared as possible. And yes, my friends preppers, this is not a hypothetical, theoretical stuff that lots of preppers talking about. Oh, if day is around the corner for me, okay? This day is, I can smell in the, it's smell in the air. This day is real, okay? And the best exit strategy is, this is my country. I mean, if KGB comes after me, that's one thing. If this, getting hot from Ukraine, then what can I do? This is my country, okay? This is my responsibility. So thank you. This is my exit strategy. Howdy from Parrish, Florida. Allison, great to see you. Thank you. It's as hot as in Florida, but not humid here in Rostov. It gets up to 100 every day. Speaking of exit strategy, my love, thank you so much, Donna. Brad Pitt announced he's on the final leg of his acting career to retirement. No. Exit strategy for Brad Pitt, yeah. For me, kind of a different exit strategy. To you. Finally, it's so good to see you on the channel after all that, messages we were shooting back and forth, Thank you. Stat musician, there are elements of the left-wing media that really are against Russia for its rejection of a sexual revolution. These elements don't represent ordinary Westerners at all. I know, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. I know West consists of different people. The right, the left, the middle, but most of the United States were actually common sense people, normal. One warmonger, one aggressive freak that was against any country, okay? Most people I met in Maine, in California, in New York were actually fine. They welcomed me all the time. They knew that I was Russian. Not a problem whatsoever. I know that there are elements, but you know what? I hope there are not too many of those elements. Thank you very much. Question/statement. If you want me to notice your comment or question, please put it in caps, because otherwise it's really difficult. Bob S, Harry Potman, hello friends. Edgecombe, Maine. Hi Jimmy. David Moyers, Parish, Florida. That when things don't go well, people will make up excuses and reasons why they don't like things. Aesop's fable of sour grapes. Thank you so much, David. I am familiar with Aesop's fables, but I don't remember the sour grape fable. Fantastic guy was, I tell you. When I was in Greece, I was born and he lived, but too far from where I vacated. Thank you so much. I will definitely look Aesop fable. Actually, we'll do it right after the stream. I wrote it down. Thank you. English Bob, good evening. Can this ever be reversed? What happened? What has happened in Ukraine cannot be reversed. Most definitely. But I'm not saying it can be worked around. But it's just if the stance, if Russia takes some actions, we could come to senses. It's gonna take probably generations, not just a few years. But if Russia goes further, then I'm afraid, won't be able to reverse it. That's how I feel. Ika77, thank you so much. Shines here in Finland and it's getting warmer finally. All right. Cheers to Harry Potter. Here in the south, around 9ish, 9:15, something like that. So it's the longest day of the year. 22nd was always a very sad day in Russia. That's the day when, in 1945, Germany began for us. This year, no one has said anything about that. Usually there's a concert, there are songs, remembrance, services, and so forth. Not today. Abacus, thank you so much. Free of guilt for the event, but your generation must pay the bill and teach next generation to be careful not starting self-isolation events. Spot on. It's not a question. You're absolutely right. Spot on. We have the guilt. We will pay the bill. There's no must. It's just, it's certain. We will pay the bill. I hope it's not our children. It's us. Okay? Because we've let it happen. Had some lags on today's stream. Buffering during message. Shoot. Is it okay now? Maryland Parmalee, thank you so much for joining. You are a very loyal fan. Thank you. Papa G, hello from New Hampshire. Hey, go to North Conway. Do some shopping for me, please. Will ya? Bombi 1138. Boy, I can't wait to comment on this stream. You are commenting. Why can't you wait? Reese, despite heavily throttled internet, I'm staying in the game. Just give me a second. The heck is going on? I'm sorry. I hope this fixes the buffering and throttling. Durban, South Africa is here. Wow, fantastic. Richard, it seems like Russia is making new geopolitical alliances. It's actually a great topic for the stream, my friend. I'm gonna write it down. No. No, these are bad alliances because in politics, in order to be to have advantage, to gain advantage, you must be the one acting first. You must. It's like playing chess. You must be laying out plan and play it, and others should play accordingly, according to your game. What is happening right now in Russia? We are desperate. We are making decisions not out of, you know, like to plan out everything and like to have advantages. We trying to make things up. The other alliances, the other parties, they are in driver's seat and they dictate their rules. Russia is playing by others' rules right now. And this is a very, very bad play. It's very unfortunate for Russia. The politicians that are doing it, they are just destroying our future, basically. Devon Harris, $5. Did the West actually made a mistake by investing in Russian economy back in the 90s? Stay strong. I don't know. A lot of companies, I don't think that many companies are leaving Russia in red. I mean, a lot of forfeiting, but companies like IKEA, Coca-Cola, they've made tons of money here, and they are not actually in red. I think Renault is in red because their investments are very, very long term. Perhaps a few other companies can be in red, but I don't think that economically it was a bad decision. I think they did the right thing by investing into Russia. It's just something somewhere turned, like we made a wrong turn. Okay, I just don't know. It's tragic. I don't know what to say. I watched the economic speech, says Donna Olson. Thank you so much for super chat. It's the deadpan faces that always amaze me. I'm not sure which economic speech did you hear, mine or somebody else. Chris Ruth, would you feel safe flying in Russia today? Totally. Why would I not feel safe? I actually many people ask me this. Oh, Russian planes are still flying. They're gonna be flying for at least 4 years, worry free, with very little maintenance because Boeings and Airbuses are excellent planes, very safe and very dependent. After 4 to 6 years, they will start needing new parts. And guess what? I think even Vladimir Putin, don't quote me on that, but I think he himself said that after like 4 or 6 years, Russian airlines will be cannibalizing some planes to actually keep others flying. So I feel safe, safe, safe today. No worries. And I will save flying tomorrow. And I will save flying next year and year after next year. No problem here. We have different problems, folks. Not the planes. Understand? This is the turn, the direction this country is going to. That's the problem. Not the planes, not even the lack of BMWs or Mercedes or whatever. That stuff we can live without. But it's just, where is our future? What is the vector of our movement? Where are we going to? Sandy, thank you so much. Never experienced anything like that ever. Thank you. Ajax Amsterdam. Oh yeah, Russia lives in a different reality for sure. Well, I know about Russia, but have you experienced anything like that in your life? So Ajax played in Rostov once. 4-1, Rostov to Ajax. That was the craziest game I've ever saw. It was a Champions League back in 2015, I believe, or 2014. Papa G, hello everyone. Sandy, first thought was, so you guys, when I saw what happened in Rostov. Well, it's not technically in Rostov, but it's Novoshakhtinsk. It's about, 40 miles from Rostov or something like that. So, but thank you so much, Sandy. I appreciate it. Jasper Putting Face, Janine, hi there. Many episodes of buffering today. Is it buffering now? I apologize. Five by five. Stop repeating. Karsten, thank you so much for your message. I apologize. My bad. I did something. I turned off one of the programs and the buffering stopped. Still occasional. Huh? CK, do you Russians worry about the clock ticking on climate? We all live on the same ecosphere. CK, I am really sorry to say that, but I don't really worry about climate change that much. I have much bigger worries about my country, about the lack of freedoms, the freedoms that we lost, and things like that. Uh, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but no. In Russia, it's not the most popular topic. We have other things to worry about. Body, did you hear the explosion? Well, explosion was not that huge, first of all, and then I did not hear it. Of course, it's like, what, 40 miles away from me. I would not hear like a nuclear explosion at that place, let alone just a fairly small drone blowing up. To answer your question, it was Mr. P economic speech 5 days ago in St. Peter. Oh, I see. Yeah, of course I watched all his speeches. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. What can I say? He's surprised me. He's surprised many Russians. Perhaps he knows much more than we do because he says things like sometimes that really amaze us. But hey, he's the president. He's got all his powers that gather him information and stuff like that. But overall, Don, I must agree with you. It's hard not to agree with you. Yodi Racer, are people with foreign cars care about when spare parts run out? Well, there's plenty of spare parts. They're all imported through China, or Chinese have knockoffs. For example, last time I had one of the spare parts blew up in my car, German car. I went to a market and they gave me an offer of two different parts, identical. One made in Germany that cost like 300 euros, one made in China that cost 30 euros or something like that. And I asked about the quality. They said, well, German is a little higher, but not much. But I was thinking, was it worth 10 time difference? So I ended up buying generic from China, and pretty much we're not gonna have this supply of other parts from China cut off. It's still be going on. So that not again, that's not big of a problem. Yodi Racer, we have a different kinds of problems. Um, you're talking about small problems that concern our like parts of our lives. I'm talking about the big picture. I want my country to go back to normal, to go back to righteous. That's what I'm after. Paula, in 42 miles away from Fort Stewart in Georgia, can we hear when they go day and night? I didn't hear the explosion. BJ, BG, what percent of people in Russia are ethnic Russians? I don't know. Not too many, probably, because Russia has over 100 different ethnic groups. Rika Suave, before February 24th, what concerned you the most about your country, if anything? Corruption. Vladimir Putin pointed out many times that the system of Russian government is very corrupted, and there's much corruption in Russia. That definitely worried me. Then I wanted freedoms back that were taken away from us. But compared to now, it's kind of nothing major. Everything is learned by comparison. Gosh, before the 24th, we lived in nearly free country, compared to now. Economy worried me. My well-being worried me. The future of my kids worried me, but not too much. It was nothing major. Life was happy. I was taking you on live streams. Me and Michael were going sledding, playing in the snow and stuff like that. There's so many people. Harry Potter and Lorna, Mommy were always there. MTG Gaming Bob, do you feel Russia is prepared to become 100% self-sufficient? No, we cannot become 100% self-sufficient. We can be forced by denying us many things, but Russians won't die from that, but living standard will be so much lower because of that. Tanya Wales, climate change is real. By 2050, my area will increase 1 US the Dow climate zone. We had a category 4 tornado with air temperatures of 70 degrees. Well, perhaps it's real. I mean, changes are real. Climate, geological, and all kinds of. Our planet is a living organism, okay? The changes are real. I'm not saying they're not, but the question was, are really Russians really concerned about climate changes? I would say no, not really. Right now, by the way, right now I heard few voices saying, you see, they were trying to blind us with this climate change, to put powder in our mind with climate change. Screw that climate change, that's some public people were saying that. So in this new Russian reality, climate change will be denied. That I'm pretty sure of. Paula, most cars are highly recommended to keep the original parts. Husband is an auto body technician. I agree with your husband and I agree with you. But if there's a difference of 10 times, 30 euro against 300 euro, and people who sell the part, non-original part, give warranty, then you know, at least for me, the choice is pretty obvious. It's not like the engine part or like crucial part. It's just a part on the side of the car, so to speak. Mr. K is a tree hugger. Excellent. What is a tree hugger? What? I'm not sure. King Kong. Hey, SF Joe. If sanctions same in 5 years, would you make different decisions today, like staying or leaving? Tough question. Tough question. It's not just about the sanctions. It's about what's happening inside of Russians' minds, inside of people who surround me. That's the big question. What happens in the government? Who leads Russia? Who whoever leads Russia? What kind of decisions he or she makes? That would be crucial questions to actually influence my opinion, my decision to make or leave. But it's hard to say. I'm doing my best, trust me. Devon Harris, what do you think about BRICS economics, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa? Devon, thank you so much for super chat. Well, listen, I like those countries. I have nothing against them. Brazil, India, China, South Africa. But I have very little faith that we can create a union, an economic union to actually fight the West. We don't need to fight one another. This is about cooperation. This is about friendship, about love, not about fighting. And what I've been hearing lately is, oh, we're gonna get strong. We're gonna get the new partners, India, China, Brazil, to fight the Western countries, to fight the sanctions. I don't believe in this union. I'm sorry. Watching the time, about 8 minutes to go. James Rhodes, I have a palm tree in my front yard. I don't really know who a tree hugger is, but I would love to go to your front yard right now and hug your tree, the palm tree. Trust me, I would be just hugging it and I would be just jumping out of joy. Tree hugger is one who worships creation and not the creator. Well, Steven, I'm not a tree hugger then. I don't know who I am. Don't put labels on me because I worship the creator. I thank creator for the life he's given me and us. I thank him for everything that he's given me in life. creation is one of the things creator created. So there's nothing wrong with creation. That's paying Dirk White. Jimmy, you can always put a Lada engine in an old Mercedes or Lexus. Cheers from Denmark. Thank you, it was a good joke. Yeah. I'd rather, you know what, if it comes to that point that I have to put a Lada engine in an old Mercedes, then I'd rather just ditch the Mercedes and walk, or ride a bicycle, or ride a scooter, or take a bus. Patrick, great. Comment, India and China will turn as soon as it benefits them too. Oh, you are so right. Frank, tree hugger is someone who is very interested in protecting the environment. Frank, according to you, your explanation, I am a tree hugger 100% because I care about the environment. I I just care, you know. I care in the world that I live. That's all. Tree huggers will hug trees to prevent it from being cut down. Hardcore environmentalists. Donna, thank you. Well, I'm a half tree hugger. You know, I would hug tree to a point. You know what I mean? To protect it. Excellent comment by Singamanji Singamajigigi. I'm sorry. Tough name. Honor the creator by protecting the creation. I couldn't have said better myself. You know, excellent. Mustafa Moma. I love your honesty and simplicity. Most Russians don't really know they been brainwashed by their political leaders. Well, that's your opinion. I didn't say that. Investigating the citizens against the West. Russians are free to find out on their own, to analyze, to think. You know, they have heads on their shoulders. Lisa, palm trees trunks are rough. Well, that's okay. I take my chances. Pacific Rim overlanders. With big changes come new opportunities. Um, do you see some Russians taking advantage of the situation? I see Russians connected to the government taking advantage of situation, as usual. Tell me anything new. Save the Yugo. Time. I'm watching time. Bob S. Kyle E. Are you getting Western movies still like Jurassic World? I didn't see that particular one, but yeah, we still get Western movies. You know what? Don't think that we are in informational bubble. At least I am. I've been able to trespass all the limitations that companies have placed upon me. You know, I re-registered for Apple. Apple is recognizing me as a non-Russian resident right now and not really limiting my rights with anything. I bunch of other like services, online services. You know, I can use, I can watch anything, so it's no problem, no problem. My friends, thank you so much for. I'm gonna be wrapping up the stream. Thanks so much for coming. Sorry about the buffering. I'd like to pray as usual. Finish the stream with a prayer and mention a few people who reached out and asked to be mentioned. Please join me. Thank you. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for giving us food, putting food on our tables, putting roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding with wonderful people, loved ones, family, friends. Thank you. Please stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Please reach out to many people who make decisions and fill their hearts with love. Please reach out to Vladimir Putin, touch his heart, fill it with love, mercy, compassion, and have him make decision to stop this bloodshed. Please help everyone who's been affected in any way by this tragedy. Send angels to Ukraine and to every single person who's in Ukraine, civilians, soldiers, Ukrainians, Russians, other nationals. Please help everyone. Please don't let one more blood of piece of blood to be shed. Please help my country. Send your strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country, please. Have angels run it and have it shine and make it a good, righteous country again and make it a good member of international community and good friend to everyone and good neighbor. Please help everyone who is helping Ukrainians, opening their houses, homes, opening their wallets, their hearts, praying, donating. Please help them. Give us wisdom to raise our children that way that when they grow up and become adults, they make this place a better world. And do not ever fight with one another, but love and friend one another. Please help everyone who is praying along with me in this stream. And please hear, listen, and answer to their prayers and make their wishes come true. I would like to mention a few people who asked me to reached out and asked me to mention. I'm asking everyone to pray for them. They are Nine Veka, Michael, Ellen, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Anne Mary, Buzz, Jean-Paul, Paula, Janine, Michael, Brian's mom, Marty, Sharon, Narnian Lady, Freddie, Susan S., Susan, Fiona, Sabrina, Madeline, Chirper, Paul, Stephen, Ellen, Priscilla, Michelin, Martin, Donald from Wisconsin, the USA. Donald asked to pray for him in his country, America. Myself, I would like to pray for my country and everyone to pray for my country too. Ariana, Lise Dumbrell, Bruce B. And there are 3 children I would like to pray and ask for. They are Sebastian, Maverick, and Britzel Andrews. Britzel is in dire situation. Please perform your miracle with that little girl. She needs it. Her family needs it. We all need it. And we're all asking for your help and for your miracle. Please help her and heal her. Thank you very much, dear God. Amen. My friends, thank you very much for another good stream. Thank you for coming. I apologize for occasional buffering. Thank you. I will see you all tomorrow. You are absolutely awesome and you rock. I have another message for you. Hope to see you. Bye bye.